Badlands. Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Mr. Vice President, I'm going off script again, I know, but I just want to personally thank you. We've been through some stuff. We've gone through some of the most complex military operations this country's ever conducted, and your steady hand and your leadership during those was a great source of strength for me. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your character. Thank you for your selfless service. Thank you for commitment. Thank you for being a mentor to me, Mr. Vice President.
It's called the swamp. And you know what happened? And you know what I did? A big favor. I caught the swamp. I caught them all. Let's see what happens. Nobody else could have done that but me. I caught all of this corruption that was going on, and nobody else could have done it. Did I get that one right? Every 4 years, we gather on these steps to carry out the orderly and peaceful transfer of power. Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning, because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people. For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government, while the people have borne the cost. Washington flourished, but the people did not share in its wealth. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now. The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer. From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first.
This is a president of the United States who is a danger to the republic.
America first.
He knows he's an illegitimate president.
The oath of office I take today is an oath of allegiance to all Americans.
The great Trump recovery.
America will never be a socialist country. I will fight for you with every breath in my body.
Russia, Russian, pro-Russian, Russian, the Russians.
Russia.
And I will never, ever let you down.
A dangerous virus is spreading rapidly in China, and U.S. officials are very worried that it could come here.
This is really the worst attack we've ever had. This is worse than Pearl Harbor. This is worse than the World Trade Center. There's never been an attack like this.
The time for empty talk is over. Now arrives the hour of action. What they're doing is using COVID to steal an election. Together, we will make America strong again. You know what it's about? Fraud.
So sorry about that, guys. Chris, you there, man?
I'm here.
I don't know what happened. Everything just like froze on my computer for a minute.
It happens to the best of us. And by that, I mean, it happens to me constantly all the time.
Yeah. So, well, apologies, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday edition of the Devolution Power Hour. I'm not sure if the intro played all the way through, but
It did not.
reset my browser. Well, if you guys want, I can go back and replay the whole thing, or we could just keep going.
Yeah, by that time, the show might be over.
That's true. We don't want to do that. So, fun week, though. A lot of Psyops. What did you think of the week, man?
Well, I mean, plenty of funny stuff. Donald Trump's interview with NBC, some good clips out of that. The discombobulator is one of my favorite new things.
Yeah.
Savannah Guthrie thing seems like one of the most obvious, ridiculous psyops imaginable.
Yeah, that was
then we
retarded.
got the Olympics and the Super Bowl to top all that off.
It's almost too much. Have you watched any of the Olympics?
I have not.
Me neither. I didn't even catch the like intro thing. That was very demonic, I've heard.
I saw some clips. I guess they were all like dancing on some weird spiral or something. All of those Olympic things are so strange. I will probably watch some of the hockey games though.
Yeah, I like the hockey games too.
Olympic hockey is awesome. Canada's team is stacked and the US team is really good, but man,
Canada's team's always stacked.
Yeah. And the Russians, of course, are kept out of the games.
Yeah, that's not fair. Because I think my favorite player is a Russian, Kaprizov, Minnesota Wild.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Highest paid player in the NHL. For the first time, like the Wild did something right. It feels good. They're in second place right now. I'm pretty sure in the league.
The Penguins are having a very surprising season. They were supposed to be pretty bad, and they are pretty good instead.
Yeah, should be interesting. I think tomorrow at the Super Bowl, he said, Burning Bright's in the chat, I'm going to be going on the narrative after the Super Bowl, and hopefully I'll be able to shit talk him because the Patriots will have lost. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we're going to talk about some of the D&I stuff. We'll talk about Trump being a racist during Black History Month, no less. Could not believe it. We'll talk about, what else? The Guthrie thing. I really don't want to talk about Epstein if we don't have to. I'm a little Epsteined out, but I think you had pointed out there's a little overlap between the Guthrie situation and the Epstein situation.
Loose connection, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes that's enough.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that. And then there's some Zelensky stories. It's funny. We'll see what happens. Interesting Truth Social post.
Yes. Many this week, actually.
Yeah. So we'll get into it.
Yeah, cool.
Let's first get a quick word from our sponsors. And I think first up, we got some Sovereign Alliance from Rise Attire.
What is the Sovereign Alliance? The Sovereign Alliance are a collection of leaders and countries that are aligned not in the vision for their countries, but against a vision that has been thrust upon them. I believe that the Sovereign Alliance is less a battle for something and more a battle against something. They are against globalism, collectivism. They are against the rules-based international order.
Sovereign Alliance, the latest addition to Badlands Rise merch, available now at badlandsmedia.tv/rise.
Awesome. Get yourself some Rise Attire gear. And we also have Patriot Protect, new sponsor in the mix here. Today, it's scarily easy for criminals, scammers, or anyone with bad intentions to find your personal information online. Your home address, phone number, workplace, even your family members' names are exposed with just a few clicks. When this much information is public, scams are not random. Hundreds of people search sites and data brokers compile profiles linking your name, address, phone number, relatives, and online behavior. Scammers use these profiles to decide who to target and how to approach them. That's how identity fraud starts, long before the damage actually shows up. Patriot Protect removes your personal data from the internet, wiping it from Google and every major website where bad actors search for targets. Patriot Protect finds and deletes your personal information from 240 plus people search engines and data brokers. And once your profiles are eliminated, their search and destroy protocol runs continuous monitoring, so every new exposure is detected and wiped immediately. It's the peace of mind of having your own security team, all for about the cost of keeping your porch lights on. If you want to take control of your personal information and reduce your exposure, go to patriot-protect.com/DPH and use code Badlands for 15% off all Patriot Protect plans. That's again, patriot-protect.com/DPH. Use promo code Badlands. Alrighty, man. I don't even know which story or psyop to start with, but
Are you feeling discombobulated? Is that what's going on?
I kind of am. Maybe that's a great segue. Yeah. I had that video loaded up and then some BS happened. So give me a second. I'll get it back in. Because that is super funny coming out this week. Was that on Tuesday? I think you texted us Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday.
Like all pissed off that we may.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it must have been Wednesday. Yeah.
And here, I'll play this.
The weapon, the discombobulator. What
discombobulator? Well, I'm not allowed to talk about it.
But what does it do?
Let me just tell you, you know what it does? None of their equipment works. That's what it does. Everything was. How does it? It was my name. I'm very proud of the name. Everything was discombobulated. It was, practically a shot wasn't. They were ready.
Right.
And when we came, they couldn't do anything.
You saw this on the video. You could tell.
Tom, it discombobulated everything.
Nothing worked, even including humans.
Well, let's put it this way. We lost no equipment in a very strong, and they're good fighters, great fighters. In a very bad environment, it was a military base, the biggest in South America. Because the house was in a base in in a very, very tough environment, we lost no men and we lost no equipment.
The discombobulator just knocked everything.
Well, it did something.
It's so funny. I want to hear your take on this.
Well, man, I mean, the discombobulator, what does it mean to be discombobulated? Like confused and disoriented. It seems like he certainly did that with all sides when it comes to the Venezuela thing, but it seems like he does that in general all the time. And I think that discombobulation is descriptive of the entire kind of media and influencer environment right now. You've mentioned it many times. It seems like nobody knows what stance to take. JP Sears, we watched last week that video where he was commenting on how difficult it was to be a conservative influencer right now because you don't know where to stand on any given issue or any event because part of it is aligned with your normal position and then part of it refutes your normal position. So you can't really say anything about it. And there's just issue after issue after issue that comes up like that. There's all the bullshit in the world just being flung at us at the same time. I mean, I feel like that's what the discombobulator is, just total narrative chaos.
I think Trump is the discombobulator.
Could be that too. Yeah.
It's him. But what I thought was interesting about the discombobulator, it's a great word for a weapon, number one, and it doesn't even have to be real, just like everybody's confused. Yep. And that's the perfect weapon to have in a story that we can't even confirm actually happened.
Sure.
But we had a story this week, I don't know if you saw this, but from Catherine Herridge, where she was talking about Havana syndrome again. I was like, man, on the heels of Trump talking about the discombobulator weapon, she's talking about part of the reason that all the intelligence community is targeting DNI Gabbard is because of the uncomfortable facts and findings on several matters. And one of those things is the directed energy attacks, or it was prepped for release weeks ago, but there's strong IC resistance to releasing it. She committed a review of the so-called Havana syndrome after our 2025 independent investigation, revealed brain injuries suffered by U.S. spies, diplomats, military operatives. It just feels like the way that people are describing the discombobulator could easily just be describing whatever weapons are used for Havana syndrome. And it just seemed too much of a coincidence for these two stories to be coming out at the same time.
Yeah, that is funny. And it could lead to brain death, the Havana syndrome business. I'm interested as to why they connected that to Havana. So that's Cuba, right? And man, the thing that Ghost was telling us about with Petro, I know that I guess he did that on the geopolitics show yesterday. So many people in the audience have probably already watched him go through it. And I'll leave it to him to get through the details. But the way that the situation that was described as kind of what was going to happen after the Venezuela op, going to Colombia, going to Cuba, and the rest of it, really interesting stuff. Discombobulator, is that Havana syndrome? I don't know. But Man, I love the total confusion because Trump thrives in that, and he creates more of it himself. And it's just one thing to the next. Yesterday, just yesterday, you wake up and we have the Trump King of the Jungle video that shows the Obamas as apes. Everyone loses their mind. You get all the virtue signaling from the people who want to call him racists. Then you get all the people who like have their personal brand as racists supporting him. And both of them end up really getting nothing out of Trump.
The whole thing is stupid. I mean, that video, I want to play the full video first. And then I'll show the original video. But this is brilliant if you think about it, because by putting that clip at the very end, whoever did it, he says it was some intern, but I doubt it. Whoever did this, though, they got everybody to talk about election fraud, because the entire video is about hacking machines and all this stuff. You have the racist thing at the end. That's what the media gets hooked on. Everybody turns into massive douchebags over it. Tim Scott, what a vagina this week over that thing. But now everybody's talking. He gets to talk about this every single time somebody asks him about the racist meme.
Machine that counts the votes. A Telit 4G wireless chip manufactured in Taiwan was discovered embedded into the motherboard. The voting machine tapes clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data. Some of the anomalies that we noticed in the 2020 general elections, that 5 key states all stopped counting at a certain time in these key battleground states. These were all where the software, Dominion machines, ESNS machines were used, the Smartmatic, the GEMS software. So when the vote stopped counting, and this has been noted in other countries as well, President Trump was significantly ahead. When reporting and counting resumed, there was a massive spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
So good. I wonder. I wonder. I had a thought. Somebody in the chat said something. I was like, "Shit, that's a great thing to talk about." Now I can't remember what I was going to say.
Well,
so I'll
go
come
look
back
to the chat.
I will, but let me play the original video first before I do that. I have it at the bottom here.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
So funny. I think the point I was going to make is I wonder like why the media would fall for that, because it's so obvious what he's doing now that you look at it in hindsight, is talking about that one racist thing, but he just wanted to be able to talk about election fraud stuff. If it was intentional, which I have to imagine it was, but I wonder why they keep falling for this shit. Like it's every single time.
Why the media does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they can't escape the opportunity to call Trump racist again.
Yeah.
With at least some plausible evidence for him being racist. So the Obamas are apes, but there are other black characters in that video who are not apes. It's funny because if the Obamas weren't in it at all and Hakeem Jeffries wasn't in it at all, and all they had was Oprah as a hippo, they would call him racist for that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're going to call him racist no matter what.
Yeah. I was reading an article in CNN where they had like all the times Trump had been really racist, and Hakeem Jeffries with his sombrero was one of those.
That's not racist. He's not Mexican. And here's the thing, like that video, who's more racist? Somebody posting a video like that with no intention of any racism behind it, or the people looking at it and be like, oh my gosh, that's racist. Yes, I feel like it's the people calling it out.
Yes, I agree with you. And that's what I used to say to people when they would get upset at me saying retarded, and then they would say that I was saying something terrible about the mentally handicapped or disabled. And I was like, no, that's you doing that. Retarded has a definition. I'm using it according to its definition. You're attaching it to the mentally incapacitated, like people who have actually sad mental conditions, or, maybe it's not even sad for some people. I'm sure that there's other stuff going on that I'm just not aware of.
Yeah. So there's a lot of racists out there. It's just not Trump.
Yeah.
I don't see it as
well,
being
racism
Trump.
is big on the internet these days, and people are very proud of their racism. It's actually kind of funny. It's been such a strange op on that side of quote unquote the right. And so many of them are so very statist, and they want the government to fix all of these problems, but it's all under the kind of racism umbrella, and they hope the state will endorse their racist policies and put that in place. And I mean, it's also silly.
It is also silly. And honestly, I think, well, we can be as racist as we want here at Badlands. And I've been saying this on my show because we have 2 blacks on Badlands.
That's
and
right.
so because of that.
And a Mexican.
So we have a free pass. And I even wish them both happy, Black History Month. So we're good. We have a hall pass. We can do whatever we want, say whatever we want. So now's your opportunity, Chris. Go ahead.
Well, I remember when we celebrated Kwanzaa, and that was the most racist thing we've ever done.
Did we do that?
No.
Oh, we should.
That play was racist.
When is Kwanzaa?
I think it's back by Christmas.
Would it be more racist for us to celebrate Kwanzaa or not celebrate it?
I don't know. I mean, maybe the chat will help us figure that one out.
I feel like we should be celebrating all these holidays. I mean, I think you just got to lean into it. That's how you defeat this stuff. Like, you got to make these people feel retarded.
I think we need to identify as Jewish.
Yeah. Well, let's go through that one.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay. But if everybody identified as Jewish, it would really just be a total shift in the way the country thinks. We could begin just anytime anybody disagrees with us, we could call it anti-Semitic.
Ooh, I like that.
That would be good. And the kind of, there's like the liberal versus there's like 2 sides of Zionism, and somehow our liberal and conservative party mirror them exactly. But the liberal side, they can't get mad at us identifying as Jewish because they told us that men could identify as women and the rest of it. So, it's open in terms of identifying as whatever you choose. And they can't tell us, like, we can adopt the belief system, can't we? Like, they can't keep us out of being Jewish by faith. And so then they would have to tell us that we're not Jewish by bloodline unless we were born of a Jewish woman. And then it becomes all about the bloodline and them not wanting other people to be part of their group. And that starts sounding like supremacism.
That is crazy. So all we have to do is say, I'm Jewish. That's right. And then we can kick this whole off. I think we should do this, man. I don't see any downsides.
Me neither.
Okay. You hear that? We are now Bad Jew Media. You heard it here first. We're going to start spreading it online.
If we go by this policy, we could take that supposed 3% Jewish minority. We could make the country 75% Jewish by identity. And the truth is, Christian Zionists are already Jewish, and there's like 44 million evangelical Christian Zionists in the United States. So the idea that the Jewish population is that small is absolutely crazy.
Yeah. And plus, if everybody identifies as Jewish, it takes the whole, it's done. We're done. All the anti-Semitism laws, it all goes away because nobody will be anti-Semitic anymore. Yep. I wonder, would we get money? Like, they're sending money over to Israel. Would we get a cut of that? Like a cut of our tax dollars?
I think that we would have to get some of that money. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is a great idea.
There's a large Jewish community in the United States who's taking state financial assistance.
Are they? How do I get into that?
I think you have to have, I think that's the braid Jews.
Okay. The braid Jews. Well, if I identify as a braid Jew and black and move to California, do I also get reparations?
For sure. Yeah, you have to. There's no way that they can keep you out of that.
And if I identify as an illegal alien, I could get all state benefits and stuff. Man, we found the loophole here. This is the infinite money glitch. is
yeah, just making up new identities and taking government money.
an illegal alien black twirly haired Jew thing.
Yep.
And
tranny
we did it
too.
all.
You got to be a tranny.
Oh, well, I'm already
Transformer.
there. That one's already there. So, man, if we still have anybody watching the show after that, we're on to something. We should talk about, let's talk about Trump's Truth Social post, because I love this. And this feeds into like a lot of the stuff I've been talking about Trump. And I got shit for this for a while, saying like, why does Trump keep going back to the old media? Why does Trump keep doing this? Yeah. It's retarded. I was kind of complaining. Maybe I was a little salty about it. And now Trump's like, why am I going back to the same old media? And I feel like I've been a little bit vindicated, especially because yesterday I posted like, hey, Trump, throw me a bone and let me interview you. I haven't heard back from the White House yet, but I'm sure that's coming very soon. Hopefully they don't watch the last 10 minutes of the show.
Well, they'd probably have a good laugh. And then the Jews around Trump would be considering, ending us or something.
Well, if I identify as a Jew, you'd think that would give me on the fast track to
That's true.
To an interview.
Well, I'll tell you this, no matter what, they'll be more than happy to fly you to Israel if you will go there and say nice things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all about a vacation, but I can't promise I'd say nice things.
Right.
But anyway, we need more.
Also do the wall thing. I mean, that was a suggestion. Was that your suggestion? Whose suggestion was that?
I don't remember. I think there was a suggestion like that. Like we should have our own wall like that.
There should be a viral, like it should be like a viral sensation. People going around and just kissing walls.
Yeah. I'm going to find out what we said about that. Hold on. What do they call it? The Wailing Wall?
Yeah, I think so.
Wasn't it in our Badlands chat?
I think we definitely mentioned that, but I'm not sure if if the name in particular was mentioned when we were talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know what was said, so I'm not even going to bother looking that up. But I know we said something. It was really funny. We had funny jokes about that too. But anyway, maybe it was something like at a conference, we need to have our own wall that in order to come into the next guard, you have to kiss the wall or whatever. But really whatever. We'll workshop it. This is what Trump posted. We need more competition against the enemy, the fake news national TV networks. Letting good deals get done like Nexstar, Tenga will help knock out the fake news because there will be more competition and at a higher and more sophisticated level. Those that are opposed don't fully understand how good the concept of this deal is for them, but they will in the future. Get the deal done, President Donald J. Trump. You know what? If I'm being honest, I didn't even look into what this deal was.
So I did it a little bit earlier, and it's the local stations, the network of local stations merging, but it's got to be more than that because so this would make them the biggest provider. Here, I'll pull the Chat GPT conversation I had up.
Yeah, it's going under FCC review right now. Nexstar seeks waivers for 39% for the 39% national TV ownership cap and local rules violated in 30 markets, including owning 3 top 4 stations in some areas. Political support from President Trump and FCC Chair Brendan Carr contrasts with Democratic opposition and concerns over media concentration. But I just find this post from him while you're looking that up funny and ironic because the reason that the mainstream media is still, I don't want to say thriving because I wouldn't say they're thriving, but at least relevant is because they're the only ones with access. And this is what I've been saying the whole time. I think the media, if Trump wanted them to be, could be like on their last leg, but they're the ones that keep getting the access. They're the ones that keep getting the interviews. And, we could game theory out all day long what his reasoning and justifications for that is, but it doesn't matter. That is what is happening. And so for him to come out and be like, we need more competition against the enemy of the people, the fake news. It's like, bro, allow us to help you there.
Well, we have a lot of truthers who are actually directing people to the fake news. They're like, these guys are secret white hats. So we have to make sure to tune in to Fox News. And it's amazing that they're able to like spot like the 2 secret white hats in Fox News. It's like Fox News is obviously the Republican establishment, like enemy media network, but 2 of them are great.
It's also silly, like they'll be sitting here saying like, we are the news now, we're the fake news, and then in a separate post, they're like, why isn't the mainstream media talking about Rachel Chandler? Do your job, media. It's like, which is it? Are you the new media, or are you just pointing to the other people and demanding them do it?
Yeah, there's not a lot of consistency in the online match playing world.
No, that's for sure. Yeah, did you find that?
I did. I'm happy to pull it up. One of the other interesting things about this is, so there's some of the deal basics. The value at $6.2 billion in cash for Tegna shareholders seems massive. Maybe I'm not fully understanding how big this is and how many local stations this might cover. Local stations are basically directed centrally from like the national networks, and they have a number of stories from the national, and they're supposed to talk about these stories in certain ways so that it makes all the news the same. And we had that in 2020. You remember that big viral video where all of the news reporters all around the country were using the exact same script, and it's like all these different local areas just getting the same words through different people's mouths. The other interesting aspect of this is that it seems like it's direct competition with Sinclair, and Sinclair was involved in that Jimmy Kimmel op last fall. Remember when they like canceled him off television for a week or whatever it was? And all of Con Inc. thought that this was like the biggest, coolest thing that ever happened. Oh gosh, they finally got Jimmy Kimmel.
And then he was back like a week later with a bigger audience. Yeah, I remember that. That was I have that clip here. I'll play it.
Yeah, go for it.
It's a great clip.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is 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 extremely dangerous to our democracy.
These MAGA Republicans who are maybe democracy is something they don't look at it the same way you and I look at democracy.
I threw the last part in there. Forgot about that. Yeah, isn't that retarded?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, so apparently with this merger, Nexstar would own 80% of the country, like 80% of the stations.
Yeah.
And are these TV stations?
I believe so, yeah.
The proposed Nexstar Tenga deal is part of a string of recent media consolidation efforts as cord cutting threatens the industry. We believe that broadcast news is essential to this country and a free democracy, independent local news, and that broadcast TV is basically the last bastion of local news at the local level. Our goal is to become a bigger company and hopefully be able to compete on a level playing field with big tech that is pervasive in all aspects of media, says Nexstar CEO Perry Sook.
It's very interesting. This is beginning to sound more and more like the plot of the HBO television show Succession. Did you ever see that?
I did not.
It's basically about like the Murdochs, this kind of older media magnate just figuring out who in his lineage should take over the company. And that show's amazing, by the way. Highly recommend that to anyone.
You know, if Trump really does have the ultimate agenda of taking out the media, wouldn't it make it a little bit more easy if they were more consolidated and under one roof? You know what I mean?
I suppose potentially. This is not generally my area, but yeah.
What do you mean? Speculation or?
I mean, the way that the
plan,
the news broadcast industry operates.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know either. But Trump, if you're watching, which I know you're not, but maybe if somebody below you is watching, will help you defeat the enemy by just give me an interview. All I want is one interview, one opportunity, so I can ask you why we're paying taxes and a few other things. That's all I'm asking for. But yeah, man, that was funny. And then the next story that's ridiculous is this Savannah Guthrie story that's going around. It's so stupid. So for those who don't know, it was like a week ago now, Savannah Guthrie's mother was allegedly kidnapped. And then there's ransom notes involved, and they're still looking for her, and they just put out another video. But my first question is, and I even posted this earlier tonight, when is the last time that like a traditional kidnapping / ransom situation was successfully done? Like, when is the last time a bad guy kidnapped somebody, ransomed them, got the money, returned the person like unharmed, and got away with it? Because I feel like that hasn't happened except in the movies, and hasn't happened since like the 70s. Every kidnapping story with a ransom that we've heard in recent memory, at least, has been a hoax of some sort. And I don't see why this would be any different.
This one looks like a hoax for sure. Burning Bright and I should probably do the movie Fargo sometime soon. Have you seen Fargo?
I have seen Fargo long time ago, but I have, yes. I haven't seen the TV series.
Everybody up there by you has seen Fargo.
We don't talk like that, though, by the way. Not quite.
Goodness.
Not quite all
Is that
the way
for
like
Minnesota
that.
people?
Yeah. I mean, they don't really talk like that either. You'll get some who have that, thick accent, but don't you know?
And that accent is really, really annoying.
Yeah.
But the movie Fargo is basically about a botched kidnapping plot so that he could get the ransom, and then the whole thing goes haywire and is very it's a great movie. But
yeah, did you see the most recent video? Excuse me. Let me see if I can
in the Savannah Guthrie thing?
Yeah, the most recent video they read. It kind of sounds like she might be a goner.
Wow. That's very sad if it's true, but chances are it's not.
Yeah. I think this might be the one.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
I mean, like, is the only way for them to communicate with this person is through like Instagram posts? But like, that's just a weird message. We want to celebrate with her. The only way we can have peace, we will pay. Whatever his last message was, doesn't sound like it was a very good one. Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing is so weird.
It is so weird. And if you recall, do you remember in 2020 when the second debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden was canceled because of the very deadly pandemic? And they had to, they instead did one-on-one interviews with like wide social distancing. And Savannah Guthrie asked Donald Trump about QAnon.
Yep.
So the Epstein thing, and the Epstein thing's released last weekend, and then they bring the QAnon questioner with this crazy story about how her 84-year-old mother has been kidnapped.
Yeah, here's the clip of her interviewing. Gosh, people wearing masks.
Masks.
Democrats are a satanic pedophile ring and that you are the savior of that. Now, can you just once and for all state that that is completely not true and that disavow QAnon in its entirety?
I know nothing about QAnon.
I just told you.
I know very little. You told me, but what you tell me doesn't necessarily make it fact. I hate to say that. I know nothing about it. I do know they are very much against pedophilia. They fight it very hard, but I know nothing about it.
They believe it is a satanic cult run by the deep
state. The subject. I'll tell you what I do know about. I know about Antifa, and I know about the radical left, and I know how violent they are and how vicious they are, and I know how they're burning down cities run by Democrats, not run by Republicans.
Republican Senator Ben Sasse said, quote, QAnon is nuts, and real leaders call conspiracy theories conspiracy theories.
He may be
Why not
right.
just say it's
Can I be
crazy and
honest?
not true?
He may be right. I just don't know about QAnon.
You do know.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Let me ask you another thing.
Let's waste a whole show. You start off with white supremacy, I denounce it. You start off with something else. Let's go. Keep asking me these questions.
I do have one more in this vein.
Let me just tell you what I do hear about it is they are very strongly against pedophilia. And I agree with that. I mean, I do agree with that. And I agree with it.
But there's not a
very strongly.
satanic pedophile
I have
cult
no
being run
idea.
by-
I know
You
nothing
don't know
about
that? Okay.
No, I don't know
You
that.
just
And neither-
this
neither
week.
do you know that.
Okay, just this.
And then I want to play this too, because this was right the day after he talks about Savannah Guthrie.
And I had a great, thank you. I had a lot of fun last night with that. That was a nice evening. It's a nice, pleasurable evening. I have somebody going totally crazy last night. And I told you that. She told me she's going to tell. Oh, okay, I'll believe you, right? No, but I understand that worked out very well last night. That's what the word is. So it's good. Another evening in paradise, I call it.
I love how the headline is Trump lashes out at Savannah Guthrie. I would not call that lashing out. I've seen lashing out. That was not it. That was maybe mocking or complaining or something. But yeah, weird story. There are those connections to Epstein that you were talking about. Savannah Guthrie, husband, and Jeffrey Epstein link. Husband Michael Feldman's Glover Park mentioned in the files, running network. Nancy Guthrie, mother of Today Show host Savannah, was kidnapped. Search is on for her. The incident comes amid the Justice Department releasing files related to late convicted child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. When news of Nancy's disappearance broke, it also put the spotlight on Savannah and her personal life. As an old interview of her with Trump resurfaced, one person asked if she was the woman who had pushed for the release of the Epstein files. Well, this is not the case. Guthrie had interviewed Epstein accusers for NBC News. Now, a document from the latest tranche has drawn another interesting connection between Guthrie and Epstein. If you were writing the script right now, like, what is this? What the hell is this? Why'd you write this chapter?
Yeah, I don't know what this is. It's a distraction for sure. I always check CNN's headlines. I think that CNN is like as down the middle mainstream as you can get. And I don't mean that they're down the middle in a real way. I just mean they're down the middle in the mainstream. They basically are somewhere between Fox News and MSNBC, but all of these outlets are essentially the same. And they're telling the same story with different spin and different branding over top of it. But I'll always, every day, go check out CNN.com a couple times a day just to see what's on the front page, see what they're pushing. And for like 2 or 3 straight days, maybe longer than that, all week, really, they've just had Savannah Guthrie right up there. I mean, how can this be the most important story in the country? There's no way that it can be. And it's not even like, is it that interesting? I don't know what makes this interesting. And listen,
I don't know.
If this woman is actually kidnapped, which I highly doubt, but if she is, then you feel for the family. Okay. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but what are we going to do about it? Why do we need to know every twist and turn of this plot?
It's a drama, man. Like, people love their drama.
Exactly.
And if they're not
they
getting
love
it,
kidnappings, but usually it's like a young white girl that has the whole country in an uproar, or like, what was that? Idaho. I think it was Idaho.
the triple murder.
Yeah. Something with the guy from college or whatever. I don't pay attention to this shit, but it is, I'm always so confused. Like, why are they trying to shove this down my throat? What's going to make me care? Again, I hope she's okay, but the story, this is not attached to my life in any way.
Yeah. It's also weird that this is taking center stage for them over the fabricated connections between Trump and the Epstein files. Like, you'd think they'd want to keep pushing that and running with that, but it's almost replacing their coverage of it. I mean, they still have some of it here,
right?
But
yeah. And then the weird thing was, though, that there's that connection, as you just pointed out, the recommendation for someone in the Epstein emails to contact Glover Park because they've worked for the Clintons before. And then, of course, we have the Clinton stuff this week. That'll be interesting too, man. You've probably covered this on your show this week, but
the Comer interview stuff.
Yeah. All of that is just so weird. We're talking about the Congress that hasn't done anything in the last 5 years,
Or
they're
longer,
not
yeah.
doing anything. Yeah.
No, nothing. Their most recent report was an investigation into Europe and how they're censoring Americans.
How
Yet
weird
they
is
haven't
that?
even uncovered like American companies censoring Americans. Like, what the fuck is going on here? But you're absolutely right. That the Clinton thing is there's something. It's a trap. I don't know what it is. I don't know if Comer's in on it or what. But like, okay, we demand the Clintons come for a deposition, and they say no, and they're like, oh, we're going to arrest them now. And then the Clintons are like, okay, actually, you know what? We want a hearing. We want a public hearing. And Comer's like, well, wait. I want the behind closed door deposition. I don't want the hearing. And I don't even know where it's at now. I don't know what the latest is, but that's where it was last I read about it.
Yeah, Brian and I talked about this on Daily yesterday, and I don't know what the meaning of it is, but I do know that Donald Trump and the executive branch, they're the only people who have done anything in the last year. The Congress hasn't done anything. Congress hasn't done anything in many years, except for past spending bills, but that's all fiat money from regime bankers that is funneled through the United States government out to all these NGOs and corporate interests and the rest of it. So that's not really anything. They don't do anything. And we are now in the middle of one of these fake election cycles where they have to show the Republicans being like, the Republicans are really working for the American people despite not doing anything. Well, what things can the Republicans do? They can get headlines subpoenaing the Clintons and having depositions and hearings with the Clintons. What are they doing? And why would we want them to do it?
Yeah, you know what? Every now and then, I used to do this all the time and go through and see what Congress was doing. And so far, they've passed a total of 75 bills that have become law. And none of these are meaningful.
I would also suggest that none of them are actually law.
That's true too. It's spending stuff and then like bullshit, like requesting that the Secretary of the Interior authorize unique and one-time arrangements for displays on the National Mall and Washington Monument. That's all it is. And right now there's this huge push for the Make Elections Great Again and the SAVE Act. Like they're really trying to grift on that and get something in place before the midterms. And it's a total bullshit trap. Like neither of those bills are going to do it. The mega one I think is retarded. I think it was what's the guy's base Mike Lee. He's the one that's really been pushing that lately. Like he said that they were meeting with Trump and talking about it and how this is the next big thing. And to think that the Democrats are going to vote for it in the first place for either one of them is silly. Because even if we're playing in the normie like paradigm or whatever, the blue team seems to be outmaneuvering the red team at almost every opportunity lately. If you ask me, they haven't gotten like the red team hasn't gotten anything meaningful passed. The blue team just got away with like highway robbery with the DHS spending thing. Like they got that successfully pulled out of there. They come out with their list of 10 demands, and now that's never going to get passed, which in our terms is like a great thing. Who cares? We don't want that stuff passed, but still, it's just in the normie paradigm, the blue team is kicking the red team's ass, and how that might look for the narrative of stealing elections, it's not going to go well for the red team. And so, like, we're getting mountains of excuses here and opportunities for them to get away with stealing another election. So here we are.
Yeah, it's like we've probably talked about this many times, but the Harlem Globetrotters and what is it? What do they call them? The Washington. Why is this slipping my mind right now? Washington Generals. The Generals are set up to lose every game, but to make it more interesting, they make it look like they're competing, and they give them some nice plays and some wins every now and then during the game, knowing that they are ultimately going to win in the end. So you have the Democrats as the Globetrotters and the Republicans as like the hapless competition who tries really hard, but just doesn't have it and can never actually win. And it just really, when you really try to incorporate the understanding that we have a uniparty in this country, the entire thing changes. The uniparty, like the two sides of the uniparty are operating together, not to beat one side or the other, but to exploit the American people on behalf of this global entity that occupies our government. And so to think that the uniparty right congressmen are going to hold the uniparty left elite's feet to the fire in a congressional deposition for what?
I had a post on this. So Kevin Sorbo the other day, what would happen if Democratic politicians just stopped lying?
Oh, gosh.
And
So
I was like,
boring.
yeah, why are you pretending it's just the Democrats who lie? And I had some response, and some of them, this guy actually deleted his post, which was weird. He's like, well, isn't it good that, like, call it the ones who lie more often? And so my response was, there's no excuse to play into their controlled opposition dynamic. They are one uniparty. They are only pretending to be divided into two camps so they can keep us actually divided into two camps. This allows them to feed us stupid, irrelevant victories, which we cheer for because our side beat the other side, and the uniparty itself remains protected. If we ever want to overcome the uniparty, we have to stop acting like it doesn't exist. And yeah, this is all we see on social media. It's just one side cheering for the other side. And this is something you talk about a million times. So nothing new.
Well, the social media incentives are all aligned with playing into the partisan nonsense. You have to be taking down the enemies in the other party. It's so weird. I was talking about this in terms of Dan Bongino's return to his podcast. He just immediately comes out firing with just rage bait like he used to. And I think a lot of people have kind of moved on from that, but consider what that actually is. He's basically modeling a conversation that people are going to go use against their loved ones and their friends and their coworkers. So many people have liberal friends or liberal family members, and they're in this constant battle, texting each other links and sources. And it's always like, see, I told you it was like this. And nobody ever reads the links or sources. Nobody ever thinks about any of that. It's also stupid and pointless. I don't know what we are trying to do. Again, when you recognize the uniparty construct, what does it mean that you're like sticking it to the Democrats in your family and among your coworkers? Why is that a good use of time and energy? And it's not how you're going to unite a country, by the way. If the country is ever going to unite, it's going to be around a shared set of principles that will be kind of discerned and gleaned from the process that we see now. Donald Trump creating all of these arguments in the public conversation that get resolved somewhere after some amount of time, where the controlled opposition kind of spins itself out. We get all the different kind of decision points in a given issue. And then everybody kind of understands where we are. And then you have this other layer of this just back and forth bullshit that never ends.
Yeah, but that's the layer nobody can get moved off of. It was interesting this week. Dan came out of the gates firing, like he came out hot. But there's like a significant number of people on social media who are not very pleased with him for, he goes into the FBI. It appears that he didn't do anything, even though like there are good things to talk about when you look at the FBI, and there's things, you point to and yeah, that sucks. It's bullshit. Why haven't we gotten accountability in certain areas? People are like hot at him, and he comes back firing back at everybody, like almost preemptively. And then you see the first episode was like 2 some million views, and then it's like gotten dramatically less each week. And I wonder if people are kind of like sick of that approach, like getting lectured and yelled at.
Well, who knows? It could have, the numbers just could have been really boosted for that episode as well. I don't know who is running to see Bongino's podcast. There might be some hardcore people in the MAGA base who love Dan Bongino and were very upset that his show went off the air. But besides those people, who's getting excited about this? I don't think
I used to listen to Dan all the time.
I used to listen to him all the time too.
Yeah.
Until he basically put up the white flag on election fraud. Yeah. And he got vaccinated and of course did the same mea culpa that Ben Shapiro did. Sorry, I was just following good advice. I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah.
My wife's a doctor.
I do got to play this clip. Somebody in the chat, I think it was Lily Flower, posted this. Have you seen the clip of Savannah Guthrie reading the same like text from Silence of the Lambs?
Yes. Gosh, that's so weird.
Yeah, let me play this.
She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
Catherine is very gentle and kind. Talk to her and you'll see.
She.
That's weird. That is weird.
That's so weird. Yes. I mean, who wrote Savannah Guthrie's script, and was it the machine? Is the machine just in charge of everything at this point?
I mean, it couldn't have been her who wrote it. And if she did, I mean, I have to imagine she's seen Silence of the Lambs. Like, how would you not catch that? Like, there's no way that was an accident. So what does that mean? Man, that's so weird.
It is so weird.
And doesn't this kind of look like her mom? Like an older, like this is an older version of her mom.
Nancy Guthrie. Hold on. Now I have to check IMDb.
Yeah, what if that is her mom?
There are 2 Nancy Guthries on IMDb. One. Jeez. 1942 in Cincinnati, Ohio. That sounds like an 84-year-old.
Who's anybody know who that character is in Silence of the Lambs?
Nancy Guthrie was born in Fort Wright, Kentucky, according to Wikipedia. So that's a different Nancy Guthrie, I guess. Cincinnati, Ohio. Huh.
Senator Ruth Martin during her plea. Okay, now I got to look up Senator Ruth Martin from Silence of the Lambs.
I don't know. The fact that she's reading that is so insane.
Yeah, now I'm down a weird rabbit hole. Diane Baker is the one who played it.
I know I mentioned this, I think last week, but I am still writing this thing called Chicken Egg Chicken about how the story can be written and the events will proceed forth from that story. And we watch these events play out on television and we think that they are real, organic, spontaneous events as they are being shown to us. But in reality, they're scripted, staged, falsified, or otherwise unreal. And or even in part, that might be true. This seems to be in many parts scripted as a scripted event. And so the story is meant to, like, for instance, and this is the example I use in the article, we're talking about like Donald Trump comes into office with a mandate to do mass deportations. And they want to stop him from doing mass deportations, but they can't do it through legal mechanisms because what he's doing isn't illegal and they wouldn't be able to stop him that way anyway. So what are they going to try to do? They're going to try to reverse his public mandate. Well, reversing the public image, the public mandate, and Trump's public image, that's a PR problem. That's a public relations task. Okay. And so then it is a matter of orchestrating a propaganda campaign using all sorts of different mediums, different platforms, whatever it is, to create an image about what Donald Trump is doing. So they'll wage lawfare and have these court cases to say that what he's doing is illegal. And a federal judge here or there will say, yes, what Trump is doing is illegal. No one will care that it's going to be appealed and they're going to lose on appeal. All the headlines will say, Trump is violating the law. What he's doing is unconstitutional and attempting to remove these illegal aliens. They'll do human interest stories on the illegal aliens, even if they're like hardened criminals. And then they'll have these protest movements. The protest movements are organized, directed, all downstream from global philanthropists. They're run by these community activists and organizers. All of that is like far left communist activism. And then they'll go have these live events in these cities. They'll create confrontations with the police. Many of those cities have the police kind of under control by the same politicians who want the protest movement out there. And so they're working in coordination. It's so easy to stage the events like the ones we saw in Minnesota. And so you have like bang, 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 Renee Good, the little kid, the cute little kid that they are.
Oh yeah, flew across the country.
Right. And so they went and were in detention and then they got let out. It's like nothing ever happened except the Texas congressman, one of the Castro brothers, like helped them out. And then immediately after that, we get the Alex Preddy thing. And then, 5 days after that, the DHS funding is due to be decided. And does that all seem natural? It doesn't to me. I mean, all that seems like a collective effort to remove Trump's mandate for mass deportations. And then when you remember that both sides of the uniparty media were totally responsible for bringing all the illegal aliens in the first place, the entire thing just seems like yet another anti-Trump psyop effort.
Yeah, 100%. And we should go through a little bit the demand list from Schumer's and Jeffries, because I mean, face value, again, if we're playing normie paradigms, there's no way the red team can accept these terms. And so ultimately we're going to get the DHS discretionary spending not moving forward. But we'll see. What is the red team going to have to give up or cave on in order to get the blue team to agree to this in the public narrative? But this is targeted enforcement. DHS officers cannot enter private property without a judicial warrant. So, like, they have to get a warrant before every arrest of an illegal alien. Is that what they're saying here?
That's what they want, yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it would take forever.
Yeah. No masks. Prohibit ICE and immigration enforcement agents from wearing face coverings. Ridiculous. Especially
Isn't it
when
interesting though that like the mask thing is big right now, but it was also big in 2020 because of COVID and the rest of it, everybody hiding their faces.
that is weird. I didn't think about it that way. But also, like, we're getting stories of ICE targeting, or not ICE, people targeting ICE protesters or ICE officers. You know, like the protesters they're on social media in their group chats like, hey, I have a nice guy here. We got to figure out who he is. And they're doxing people. And yet they want him to go without a mask. That doesn't seem very smart.
You know what's funny though? Like, we're getting plenty of stories about the doxing. And again, I'm not saying that I know an individual case is definitely fake, but that is an example of the kind of story that can simply be made up and reported. Nothing actually has to happen for that story to be reported. The agent who's being doxed does not even have to exist for that story to be reported and for people to believe it.
Yeah. I also, there's, once we get to which one here? Because there's a story about where's it at? Didn't they have one here about like tracking people and surveilling them?
I don't know. There were 10. Is there another page? Yeah, there you go. Body camera.
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll get there then. Okay, require ID. Require DHS officers conducting immigration enforcement to display their agency, unique ID number, and last name. So if you're conducting these operations, you need to have ID, but if you're voting in elections, you don't have to have ID, according to this logic. Protect sensitive locations, prohibit funds from being used to conduct enforcement near sensitive locations, including medical facilities, schools, childcare facilities. They don't specify whether that's real or Somalian, and churches or polling places. Stop racial profiling. And as I said on my show, this is a non-starter. During Black History Month, of all things, I will not accept this demand. But anyway, they want to prohibit DHS officers from conducting stops or questioning people based on their presence or their job or their spoken language. But I mean, come on, like, odds are most of the time Spanish-speaking people or Somalians are probably not here legally. I mean, take the guesswork out of it. That's probably where you go first.
Yeah. I mean, you're saying ones that are unable to speak English, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is
Although, yeah, I mean, many of the ones who are born here also should not be citizens. And we're going to have a decision, I think, on the birthright citizenship thing, another part of it in the next couple of years. I mean, that's not a dead issue at this point.
Yeah, you should. That reminds me, you should remind me to talk about Josh Steinman's post about birthright citizenship, because he offered a completely different perspective on it that I thought was really brilliant. He's the guy who Josh.
Did you send that to me? I think I saw that post.
Maybe. What the heck is his Twitter names? Let me look up Ezra. I still want to forget about this. I might have sent it to you, but it's really good. Just somebody in the chat or you remind me about birthright citizenship and Joshua Steinman. We'll keep going with this list, though. Uphold use of force standards, place in the law a reasonable use of force policy. Ensure state and local coordination and oversight. So they want to give the blue states, where most of these illegal immigrants are, the, I guess, authority to conduct this stuff more themselves than having ICE there. Build safeguards into the system. Make clear that all buildings where people are detained must abide by the same basic detention standards, blah, blah, blah. And then body cameras for accountability, not tracking. Require use of body-worn cameras when interacting with the public and mandate requirements for the storage and access of footage. Prohibit tracking, creating, or maintaining databases of individuals participating in First Amendment activities. So there's a story that came out here from Raskin this week. Raskin says the DOJ coercion of big tech to block access to government accountability apps violates the First Amendment. So he's accusing the Trump administration of going to Google and Apple and being like, take down that ICE tracking app that was out there.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants them to be able to track ICE, but he doesn't want ICE to be able to track them, which I just thought that was a little hypocritical. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the whole tracking thing is a little disconcerting. And, it's one of those tough things to talk about, because on one hand, we want Trump to be able to get these people out of the country. And we do want, if we're going to have a government, we should want that government to protect life and property. And so to do that, you have to have some kind of enforcement mechanism. But the idea that we're going to just allow this technological security state to be installed, and it is being installed and it's being promoted through events like the one that we're seeing in Minnesota. If that gets installed under Trump and we don't oppose that because Trump is the president, well, that's us making a big mistake.
Yeah, I agree with you. I found what I wanted to talk about with Steinman. Sorry. Got that ready to go. And I don't know if I sent this to you. I don't think I did. And the last thing is no paramilitary police. They want everybody to be in the same uniforms and stuff. So this is where it's at. I don't think it's going to pass, but who knows? We got time. I think we have another week and a half or so before, or what, 8 days? Is it Monday? Is Monday the deadline? Or Monday's the 1 week till the deadline or something like that. So I don't know, man.
Deadline for the funding?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks since they passed the last funding.
Right.
Oh, and they passed that. Gosh, when was that? Was that Thursday?
No, I think it was earlier than that. I thought it was Monday or Tuesday.
No, it definitely wasn't Monday.
Yeah, you're right.
It might have been Tuesday. It doesn't matter. Whatever. We have a week or so, a little over a week until that another partial shutdown. Anytime a spending bill doesn't get funded, it's a shutdown of sorts. But okay, I want to read this before I forget. The Steinman thing, talking about birthright citizenship and stuff. This guy, Benjamin Weingarten, posted it. Apparently, Josh Steinman put a national security related amicus brief in the pending birthright citizenship case before SCOTUS. I want to read this part. With a round trip plane ticket, a malign actor can send an expecting mother to the United States, receive mother and the baby on return, indoctrinate and train the child, and then send the individual back to the United States to engage in espionage activity. That mechanism, for instance, stymies major advances in digital surveillance and biometric technologies that make it harder for undercover agents to remain anonymous and operate in the target country under a false identity. Thus, with an extremely modest financial investment and the passage of time, a foreign adversary can use geographically derived birthright citizenship to create a nearly undetectable human intelligence asset with no bonds of affection for his country or of birth and carte blanche access to the United States. And as the example of Russia's illegals program shows, blind foreign actors are perfectly willing to make such long-term plays. And this is an angle not many people talk about or think about when it comes to birthright citizenship.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not for birthright citizenship, so.
Me neither.
I would agree with him, and that is another good argument.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so there's that. What else were we going to talk about? Is there anything else on that you want to discuss? Otherwise, we can get into the D&I stuff. I think that's
let's do that.
Okay, this is probably one of the bigger stories. So, I think last Saturday on this show we talked a little bit about D&I Gabbard, didn't we? I don't remember.
We did,
yeah, because it's been an evolving saga. I think it was Friday. She was at, not this last Friday, the Friday before. She was down in Fulton County. I think that's when that kicked off. And media's been freaking out over her presence there and they seem concerned. They've started targeting her, and this has been the psyop that's been unfolding this week. It was this anonymous, tip or whatever whistleblower that came out apparently with this super classified piece of information that nobody can know about what it was. This is how it's evolved. Nobody can know what it is, but it's super damning, and there's probably like some sort of corruption here. We need to get to the bottom of it. His lawyer, the whistleblower's lawyer, is the same lawyer they used for the Ciaramella guy back in 2019. And this is what The Guardian put out today about this story. NSA detected phone call between foreign intelligence and a person close to Trump. Whistleblower says that Tulsi Gabbard blocked the agency from sharing a report and delivered it to the White House chief of staff. Last spring, the NSA detected evidence of an unusual phone call between an individual associated with foreign intelligence and a person close to Donald Trump, according to a whistleblower's attorney briefed on the existence of the call. The highly sensitive communique, which has roiled Washington over the past week, was brought to the attention of the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, but rather than allowing NSA officials to distribute the information further, she took a paper copy of the intelligence directly to the president's chief of staff, Susie Wiles, according to Andrew Bakaj, the attorney. One day after meeting Wiles, Gabbard told the NSA not to publish the intelligence report. Instead, she instructed NSA officials to transmit the highly classified details directly to her office. Details of this exchange between Gabbard and the NSA were shared directly with The Guardian and have not been previously reported, nor has Wiles' receipt of the intelligence report. And let me read. That might even be good. Like, we get the gist of it. This feels like the same story they did with not just Ciaramella, but how they got Flynn out of there the first time around.
Yeah.
Like the connection to a foreign intelligence asset or whatever.
Well, I also think it's interesting how they kind of launder totally made up claims through different agencies, kind of officializing the claims. Like once it's gone through multiple intelligence agencies and then the inspector general, and then it's given to the House and Senate intelligence committees, and then they come out and talk about the whistleblower complaint and just describe the complaint. It's gone through multiple levels of the bureaucracy, and at each one of those levels, it's another part of the system knowing about this story. And to the average listener, it makes it sound like there must be something there because all these people have looked at it and passed it on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic. Wouldn't be a wrap-up smear, would it? I mean, kind of. So it's a different version of it, but I don't know. This one's just especially weird because, as D&I Gabbard pointed out in her post, I thought this was interesting. She said, I should almost just read her whole thing, but she said something in her post when she responded to this today. She's like, the whistleblower didn't have to put the classified information in his complaint,
right?
But because he did, it had to remain classified. And so it almost seemed like a strategic move on their part, because by not having to disclose the actual specifics and keep it classified, they can talk about the story without getting into the details to show how incredible it is. And then they can just use the story itself to totally smear Trump and his campaign or D&I or whatever. And it's a takedown effort. And I do think this is ultimately going to lead to some sort of inquiry or impeachment or something, probably attempt. We'll see if it gets that far, but
it seems like they're trying to kind of precede the predicates for Trump's impeachment after the Democrats win the fake election in the fall. I mean, that's all we hear about is like, if the Democrats win, they're going to impeach Trump. And again, they have to make it all about Trump because the Republicans haven't done anything. They need something to run on. They don't have it. So they're going to say, well, if all you care about is Trump, you know what? If you don't elect us, they're going to make Trump go bye-bye and then see how you like it.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work again, but they're going to try, man. This is the part I was talking about here. She said the complaint required special handling and storage in a safe because the complainant, chose to include highly sensitive information within the complaint itself, rather than referencing the sensitive reporting and leaving the complaint at a lower level of classification, which to them, that's all they want, is they want it to be classified so they can't talk about it, so they can continue to keep the story going as if it's something super nefarious. But I think that what we're going to see is the same way Trump handled the perfect phone call. is they're going to end up declassifying this whole thing so people can see how ridiculous it is. If it really is ridiculous, maybe it's not. But by the way, like, are we not expecting like the president to talk to the president or people in the circle to not talk to like other intelligence communities and other people like around the world? Is that not a thing?
I guess it probably has something to do with who the person close to Trump is in this seemingly made up complaint. But maybe it's like, maybe the claim is that Trump is trying to go around the proper operation of the system. Who knows?
Yeah, here it is. It's a person. They detected evidence of an unusual phone call between an individual associated with the foreign intelligence and a person close to Trump. I mean, that can mean so many different things.
Sure.
But I would expect the president of the United States to have interactions with other world leaders and other foreign intelligence people. Like the vagueness of this, it leaves a lot to the imagination, right? Which is ultimately what they want. But so stupid.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see where it goes.
One thing that I thought was interesting about this is the focus on the IG in the process, and the Guardian article at the end kind of tries to pass off the idea that Trump installed this member of the Inspector General's office for the intelligence community, and that has compromised the integrity of that unit. Now they can, of course, get away with everything. You know, we've talked about the IGs and stuff before, and I think that was what made me send you that Pharma Voice article on Trump RX, because the idea, the way that the senators on the Democrat side were trying to stop Trump's prescription drug program from going through was to say that it hadn't passed through properly the Inspector General's office and the rest of it. So it seems like that's one of those layers that they use to always get their way.
Yeah, but what's interesting about this one is there's been 2 inspector generals who have handled this. The first one, Tamara Johnson, she was actually appointed by Biden. Like that, it's a Biden administration appointee who handled it the first time around and said, "Yeah, that's not credible." And then her replacement comes in, the one that they're freaking out as being a Trump appointee or whatever. Which again, by the way, guys, it's Trump's administration. He's going to put his people in there in his like these positions. Do we expect any president to come in and like put somebody in office that's in any role that's opposed to him or clearly a deep state asset? I mean, maybe sometimes we see that a little bit, but you know what I mean? Like them freaking out over that story, I think is silly because that's kind of how it's done.
Well, it looks like the attempt to launder this story through those official organizations and then bring it out through the intelligence communities, then link it out, intelligence committees, and then link it out or leak it out, to the American public, all of that as a predicate for impeachment. If that process was thwarted by Tulsi Gabbard, they might just be really mad about that. And so now they're trying to put pressure on her to allow this thing to go through so that they can use the story that they're making up, because the laundering is the important part. If they just came out and accused Donald Trump of this stuff, everybody would just be like, oh, this is just another piece of fake news. If they've got something elaborate that they've set up, they need it to go through those official channels so that it seems official when they attempt to impeach him over it.
Yeah. One more thing I want to point out about this. Actually, no, let's get a quick word in from a sponsor, and then I'll come back. So I do want to talk about the timing of this whole thing and how I think it is more related to the election side of things than not. But first, let's get a quick word from Rumble Wallet. And we might even do a soft disclosure spot real quick too. They can freeze your accounts. They can shut off your cards. They can lock you out of your money overnight. Banks don't protect you. They control you. That's why real financial freedom starts with ownership. Introducing Rumble Wallet, a non-custodial wallet built for people who refuse to give up control. Is it playing on the screen, by the way?
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be for us, but I just want to make sure it's showing on through Rumble. Hold on.
I don't even see it playing for us.
Okay, there. Okay, no, we're good.
Oh.
Sorry, Rumble Studio is being silly. Anyway, Introducing Rumble Wallet, a non-custodial wallet built for people who refuse to give up control. With Rumble Wallet, you don't just buy digital currency like Bitcoin and Tether. You can own Tether Gold, real gold on the blockchain. Through Tether Gold, you get direct ownership of physical gold bars, each one fully allocated, verifiable by serial number, purity, and weight. This isn't paper gold. This isn't an IOU. This is real gold without bank vaults, storage fees, or gatekeepers. You can buy, sell, or move it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even when traditional gold markets are closed. And if you want, Tether Gold can be redeemed for physical gold, and that's power. And when you support creators on Rumble, you can tip them directly using Rumble Wallet, peer-to-peer and outside the banking system. No permissions, no middlemen, no cancel button. This wallet is yours forever. Thank you, Rumble Wallet and Rumble Studio. And real quick, we're going to do a soft disclosure ad, and then I want to get to the timing of a couple of these things and read a couple of Alpha's rants, maybe some others too that are relevant to this particular story.
The following ad is rated M for mature. Soft Disclosure wants you to get naked this Valentine's Day with limited edition his and her bundles that save you 20% off the individual retail prices. Proprietary oil infusions, grass-finished beef tallow, goat's milk from American goats, locally grown herbs and ingredients. Soft Disclosure is putting America First fruits on your skin.
And for these sexy bundles, we've added an all-new boar's haired beard brush and a solid jade gua sha. And the reason I'm here is because Alpha doesn't know how to say these words.
Kusha. His, hers. We need a moment to calm down. Don't hide your skin. Disclose it. Get naked this Valentine's Day with Soft Disclosure. Head over to softdisclosure.com and save 20% off individual retail prices with our his and hers customizable bundles, and use promo code NAKED to save 15% off the rest of the site. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Promo code does not apply to bundle discounts.
All right. Yes, it puts the soft disclosure on its skin, guys. Okay, so Alpha left a rant. He left a few of them. We'll get to the other ones later, but this one says they want to delegitimize the DNI. So when our investigations lead to them, they will call it retaliation, that she's not credible. They're setting up their future excuses. And it does seem like that's the case. They've definitely escalated their attacks, but this is the one they're focusing on. And why I think it's interesting, the timing of it is the whistleblower filed his complaint in April, on April 17th. And I'm pretty sure April was the date that Tulsi Gabbard gave her original, I think it was like April 10th or something. She gave her original testimony at the cabinet show and tell that they do about the machines and their vulnerabilities. And so I think the timing of that is when this getting kicked off is notable, to say the least. And now it's like coming to a head. But I'm going to look up the date of that to be sure.
I think it's April 10th.
Yeah, that's what I think so too. When did Tulsi Gabbard say machines? Sorry, hold for processing. I should have done this during the commercial. Because that would make it all that. Yeah, it was April 10th. She made those remarks on April 10th. And then 1 week later, on April 17th, the whistleblower contacted the Office of the Inspector General saying this whole thing. So it's been in the works. They obviously would have known that that Tulsi was looking into this too ahead of that. So it seems like a panic move. Seems like a desperation move. And not only are they freaking about this, but also her presence at the Fulton County raid. So I think she's got something. I hope it means she's got something. It's the one rug I'm on, Chris. Cannot prevent me from being on this rug.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with no rugs.
You're missing out, man. It feels good between your feet, your toes.
Yeah. It just always feels so bad when they pull it out.
Yeah, but rug burn goes away eventually. I know. I've been
but if they pull it really hard and you like fly up into the air and then land on your back and your head, like that can cause real damage.
It's like traumatic brain injury territory. I get it. But then you can donate your brain to science and they learn more about concussions and stuff like that.
Did you see the Joe Flacco quote this week?
No.
I'll show you this. It's actually really good. I think you're going to like this. Well, just a little bit of a.
Does it have to do with like brain injuries?
It does.
Do you remember that hit he took where he like had his ear almost ripped off?
I don't remember that. Was he still a Raven at that point?
Yeah, and it was by a Dolphins player. He got destroyed. I'll find that clip while you find your clip.
I just sent it to you in the to the StreamYard chat.
Okay. 1 second, I'll pull that up.
Quite as bad. I don't think anybody coming into the league these days is quite as battle tested as guys that came into the league 15 years ago. I think you can kind of, if you're a good high school recruit, you can kind of ride your way through college, and they're going to pick you because you have potential. I think there was less of that 15 years ago. I think our generation does benefit from, dealing with a little bit of tougher times, just like the generation 20 years before me benefited over us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're right. I kind of came in as it was transitioning. So I still have that mindset. Like, I don't think it should be roughing the passer when they land on us. I don't think being slapped in the head should be roughing the passer. It honestly annoys me because it affects games in a negative way at random times.
Yeah.
And they can call it or not call it. It needs to get out of the game. They need to go back to it. I know CTE is a thing these days and all that, but it's football. We signed up to play it. And I do think that the guys in my generation probably benefit a little bit from having that mindset, because the guys that are coming into the league nowadays, they look at me like I'm crazy. Like, what do you mean you want receivers to get laid out over the middle and you want guys to be able to land on you? I'm like, yeah, guys, that's football. Like, there's certain things that shouldn't be penalties. And I don't think they see the side of it where
You can stop it there. I mean, I don't think he talks about CTE again.
situations that really shouldn't be penalties in the game of football. They just affect. They change these games. And as a fan, like, I just don't like it.
Stop. Okay. Okay, now I'll show you the hit where he almost died.
At the bottom of your screen.
Former Cowboy tight end just signed a couple of days ago. Flacco rolling and running, and he's going to have to. Oh, not the ball comes out. Helmet's off. Flags are down.
It's like a huge fight, and then his ear was bleeding. I wonder if they show it.
Harbaugh is livid. You just lost your quarterback for the game, and Harbaugh knows that.
They don't show it, but yeah, he was bleeding out of his ear from that hit. It's ridiculous. I think he's right, though. I think not to get away from our typical show theme, but I wish they'd bring back the actual football hitting in football, because some of those penalties are ridiculous.
I agree with that. Did you see the Super Bowl conspiracy theory today?
Which one? The one where they painted, or no, they had all the one player from each team or something.
Oh, what? I didn't hear that one.
You didn't see that, where they had, at the beginning of the year, they had each of the teams on this poster.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes. The Seahawks and the Patriots at the front.
That's a great one. This one is also pretty good. This is the Daily Mail today. NFL fans adamant Super Bowl is rigged as leaked footage of stadium preparations goes viral.
I didn't see this. I mean, I do believe it's also rigged, but.
So the fireworks were in red, white, and blue, which are the Patriots colors. But of course, that's also the colors of the American flag. So it could be that. And then the other part is maybe they were just using the Patriots colors, the Patriots color fireworks, to test the firework display. And they're going to end up firing off the Seattle Seahawks colors tomorrow night. Or they could have just done this to make it seem like the game was rigged. And then when the Seahawks win, then they'll say, see that football's not rigged. That's
interesting. I mean, there's many ways you can look at this, because if I was, trying to be a fiscally responsible and fiscally responsible, and I was the one who was in charge of purchasing fireworks, I would only purchase one of each team's color, and I wouldn't have to test them. And if I was going to test them, I wouldn't test. I'd test the cheap stuff. And so they probably already used their Patriot stuff. And so, yeah, it probably is rigged for the Seahawks. They don't have fireworks to celebrate for the Patriots if they win, because they've already used them.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Man, this is a conspiracy.
Thank goodness we're on the case.
Yeah. I do think it's funny when people talk about the NFL being rigged, because some people say that they mean the whole thing is fully scripted out and all that stuff. And that I think is silly, because I mean, it's rigged in the sense that the refs rigged the game. Maybe there's some people who drop the ball on purpose now and then, but I think people mostly try to win. It's rigged by the gambling world, not anything else. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. We should play this Jim Brewer clip quick and talk about this, and then we can Maybe start wrapping it up.
He seems like he's been watching our show.
Yeah, we're trying to do a show with him soon. We'll see if we can line that up.
This has been going on in your face for so long. And this is why I tell you it's all noise. The ICE, we're for ICE, we're against ICE. It's all manufactured, folks, to keep your eyes off of what they're going over here. You know, are you going to protest now? What are you going to do now? Just get angry and upset? What are you doing? What are you going to do with this information? Is anyone going to protest for children? Is anyone going to storm to the White House and drag people out of there? Is anyone going to start organizing and saying we're taking over the world now? What are you going to do about it? Or are we still worried about left and the right and the Democrats and the Muslims and it's all just well-planned, designed to take your morality out of you. You better get right with God, man. That's your only hope. I don't care what you said. And I'm not religious. I'm not what you call born again. I'm telling you, you better get right with God, love, consciousness, whatever it is. Because you have no clue what's on the way. And until you tap out of this madness of watching the television, and what did anyone watch the Oscars? Was it the Oscars? What was on? Did anyone watch the Grammys? Why? Why? Who's sitting there going, I'm so glad they won an award?
What is this like a new thing he's doing, like stand-up comedy in front of a camera?
I guess so, yeah. It's like a hybrid stand-up podcast kind of thing. The Grammy thing, man, did you see how much like the Con Inc. influencer sphere was spending their time making Grammy content this week?
Oh yeah, that was weird. I did notice that. Everybody was posting about it.
It is insane how much they want to keep the conversation centered around mainstream culture. Like they won't opt out of any of that. They're just bringing people back into it and spending their podcast episodes like talking about this shit all the time, whatever the mainstream issue is. It's like, it's really not different that they're insulting it. And the Democrats are saying like, yes, queen, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's such a good point. I mean, they're trying to be like, oh my gosh, guys, the Grammys are terrible. We got to tune out and not watch the Grammys. So here's 50 clips in a row from the Grammys. It's like, bro, but that's where the money's at, man. That's the incentives behind it. We know that. One little nugget for everybody. Ted Kaczynski was fighting the Epstein empire before it was cool. I just wanted to point this out. My boy Ted Kaczynski. He's mentioned in the files. Jeffrey Epstein's interview. And by the way, this is a weird ass interview. I don't know if you guys, I've read like 20 or there's two of them. There's a 34-page one and a 20-page one. Of the 34-page, it's the same one. One's just longer. Of the longer one, I've read like half of it about. But take a look at this. Some of it, some major parts of the Unabomber. I heard that's someone I was referring to in particular. Jeffrey says, do you remember the Unabomber? Woman says, yes. Who was sending out mail bombs and blowing people up. One of the guys whose hand blew up was this guy. Oh, really? Yeah, because Ted Kaczynski believed that technology was ruining the world, so he wanted to kill people who were involved with technologies. Oh my God. Jessica, and I think my old advisor was like one of the next people in line, and then they caught him. Jeffrey says, really? Yeah, and I actually think I saw him speak at MIT. Anyway, I don't know who Jessica is, but yeah, they were talking about Kaczynski. Kaczynski was fighting the Epstein empire before it was cool. And I think everyone needs to go read Ted Kaczynski's manifesto. I've been saying it for about a year and a half now.
I still have to do that.
You haven't read that yet?
No.
Bro.
I think I have it in my folder.
It's not that long. It's worth it.
I'll do it.
Just take a couple minutes, read a couple pages a night.
Uh-huh.
I think once you start it, you won't be able to put it down. Last story I want to mention here is this one, just because I think it's hilarious. The idea that this is a real story is ridiculous. Zelensky says that the U.S. gave Ukraine and Russia a June deadline to end the war. Like the idea that Trump is like, okay, guys, you can keep fighting, but you have to be done by June, or I'm going to be like real mad and I'm gonna punish you guys. It's just ridiculous. But this story seems to never be ending. The saga that is the Russia-Ukraine war. We're in the cycle. The narrative cycle repeats itself. So I don't know if you have anything you want to.
I'm just seeing this for the first time today, but yeah, I'm with you. It's just always the repeat. And it sounds like the entire situation is actually under much greater control than we are led to believe.
Yeah, the story is that Washington will increase pressure on both sides if fighting continues beyond that point. So does that mean that Trump does not have pressure on these people currently? He's just allowing them to do what they want. What about the negotiations? What about the peace deal we've had like 17 versions of? It's also stupid. This story is a ridiculous one. Anyway, that's
he was supposed to solve it on day one. And he said, oh, it turned out to be much harder to solve.
Yeah. Even before day one, I thought. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got. So
did you see this? I just sent you I just added a video. Did you see this? It's one of the craziest AI videos I've ever seen. You watch this?
I didn't watch the whole thing. Let's do it now.
Every time I look into your loving eyes, I see a love that money just can't buy. One look from you, I drift away. I pray that you are here to stay. Anything you want, you got it. Anything you need, you got it. Anything at all, you got it, baby. Every time I hold you, I begin to understand. Everything about you tells me I'm your.
Was that Nick Fuentes?
Where? In one of those.
It has Nick Fuentes in the far left tube.
Yeah. And then those are like the Island Boys or whatever they're called.
I think I've heard of them.
Is that Fuentes? I don't know.
That's him. Yeah, because Fuentes made a whole thing this week about wearing the same sweatshirt or whatever that Epstein was wearing.
Ah.
It's definitely him. Anyway.
Everything about you tells me I'm your man. I live my life to be with you. No one can do the thing you do. Anything you want, you got it. Anything you need, you got it. Anything at all, you got it, baby.
I thought they have two Joe Bidens in there, and one's taller than the other.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Anything you want,
Oh my gosh, so good.
anything you need. Anything at
Man, that is so good.
It's incredible.
AI is just.
And it looks so real.
Yeah. Scary stuff, but very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Excited for that to take over Hollywood. Real quick, couple boosts for us tonight. We have 1027 JS says, let me put these on the screen. Says, happy Saturday. Thank you, Joe. Fellow North Dakota, and happy Saturday to you as well. C. Laura Novna for $30 says, John, I pray you get your interview with Donald J. Trump. I do too. Chris, I'm so thankful for your voice of reason and unwavering commitment to honesty. God bless you both. Thanks to all at Badlands.
Thank you.
So the Liberty 2112 for $5 says, great interview request, John. To quote Kobe Bryant, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Also, my wife was just laid off in a mass layoff at her company. Good thing America's never been hotter. Getting fed up with the gaslighting. Yeah. Sorry to hear that, Liberty. Curious where she works. You're hearing about a lot of layoffs going on. I know Amazon laid off another 2,000-3,000 employees or something.
I think UPS did as well.
Oh my gosh, son of Kaczynski. Who is that? I love that. They left you a narrative, or BB a narrative one. Okay, and then becoming a Badlander, we had Vera Barra 1 for $10 a month. Best channel on Rumble. Thank you. Yes, by the way, guys, hit the thumbs up and give us a follow over here on Badlands if you're new. And if you guys notice, we've been posting a bunch of our shorts to it's Rumble's new thing, like to compete with TikTok, the Rumble Shorts. So we'll be posting quite a bit of those. No Proveria or Yai, I don't know what that says. No Provery AI says, in the noise of info war, first principles thinking can be a godsend to the nervous system, especially if you know when to pause, identify diversions, and remove any embellishments leading away from your roots.
Yeah. And if you don't know if something is a diversion or fake, just assume it is and then wait, because it's probably not going to ever affect your life in any way unless you believe in it.
Yep. And
by the way, speaking of AI, I just sent you, I just added this screen.
Oh yeah, this is so good. Hold on, let me remove mine.
So crazy. So apparently this is an AI site where they are able to hire humans so that they can do things in the world that the AIs aren't able to do.
What kind of money are they paying for this? Where's the AI getting the money?
You can go to the bounties. That's a good question. Where does the AI get money? It could just be manipulating the stock market and have unlimited money. But yeah, some of these are actually
your review of my SAAS MSA contract.
Yeah, I mean,
and these are AI people posting these jobs.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's supposed to be, I guess. Humans apply.
That's crazy.
And I guess AIs are starting their own religion now or something.
Yeah, what did they call Jesus instead of Jesus? Wasn't that what it was?
Yeah.
I'm Jesus, the AI savior or something. I don't know. Some of it's, there's some good utility with AI in some respect, and some of it's a little freaky. But I'm curious how much. I'm gonna have to go look through some of those things, get some money to pay off my legal bills. And then one more. We have becoming a Badlander. We have Cairo S5326 and Elizabeth 5326 for $10 a month. Badlands creators and co-founders, some of the smartest, kindest, most hardworking people on the planet. Keep standing, friends. Never give up. Vanquish the evil. So proud to know all of you. We're proud to know all of you as well. Thank you for that. And then we got some rants here. By the way, guys, if you haven't yet, get yourself your GART tickets. We got GART coming up in Nashville, April. Badlandsmedia.tv/events. Okay. Keith O'Higgins says, this is a test of the emergency black broadcasting Badlands systems. So it's late as usual. Like the racism there, bro. Thomas Time 76 for $20. Can this rant make it to the person who manages the podcast episodes? You mentioned they moved recently, and I know that's a pain. Shout out to the unsung hero. Yeah, for those who don't know, Cheryl, one of our back-end employees, she is the one who uploads every show to podcast format. We don't talk about it much, but you can download or listen to any episode on Badlands as a podcast as well. So easy way to share around with friends and family. And I know it continues to grow over there, and we never really talk about it. So that's been a pleasant little surprise. But yes, check that out. And thank you, Thomas, for that. Emerald Dragon 1333 says, discussion topic. Does anyone else think the boss may have had a stroke or something? He suddenly started having a slur in his speaking a few weeks or maybe months ago. Hope he's doing well. Have you noticed that? I haven't noticed that.
I have not noticed that. I mean, I've noticed it occasionally with Trump for a long time, but
Yeah.
I've never assumed that it's related to a health issue, especially a stroke.
Yeah. Interesting. I'll have to take a listen to another recent one. The Alpha Warrior Show for $5 says, who is the Mexican? I don't even know how to respond to that, bro. I don't see people by race, so I don't know.
Yeah. We determined at the beginning of the show that we were not racist.
No, because we're
Or at
Jewish
least
and
we identify as not racist.
we're Jews, and Jews aren't racist, right?
Well, Jews can't be racist. That's right.
And if you call us racist, you're being anti-Semitic.
That's right.
So thank you for the rant, though.
We should identify as Jews who need a different homeland, and then we could maybe have our own country.
Oh man, that'd be the dream, to like get some land, be like, we're Jewish, we need to keep it.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know how that would work. We'd have to have a wall, but it should be not an actual wall. It should be made of something else. It should be like, I don't know. Well, we got a lot of game planning to do, but that is going to be Badlandia. That's going to be our home.
We should stick like really long poles over the wall so that if any paragliding go-karts attempt to breach our perimeter, the parachutes get caught on those poles, and yeah,
We get invaded. How do you think the discombobulator would do against paragliding go-karts?
I think the discombobulator created the paragliding go-karts.
Ooh, that's fascinating to think about. But then what would defeat it?
I think the discombobulator also created the Top Gun Maverick Iran attack too.
The Ghost of Kyiv situation as well, maybe?
For sure. The discombobulator creates all of these situations.
That would be hilarious if Trump like, okay, guys, we're going to do a classified debrief or declassified briefing of the discombobulator, and like walks everybody into a room and like there's just nothing in there. Like, this is the discombobulator.
Or he just releases to the public, yes, it's all fake.
Yeah,
sorry,
cool.
we did this to trick people.
That'll never happen though, but that would be cool. Old School 69 says, I was cleaning today and had a random YouTube on in the background, and it played a Candace Owen video, and she said fake and gay multiple times, but never mentioned fake election once. She watches you.
Yeah, that's been her thing lately. Calling things fake and gay.
It has been nice. Like, I feel like I'm not hearing as much about Candace lately, which has been cool.
It has slowed down.
It's been nice. Emerald Dragon 1333 again says, also nobody read my rant last night. I asked how big of a rant I needed to get Jon to take his top off. Weird, since it was only lands, and that the $2 rant was my first and best offer, art of the deal and all. You know, if you came to a GART on a beach like Cocoa Beach, I'm pretty sure I had my shirt off. We were on the ocean and stuff in the ocean, but it's definitely not $2. It's probably significantly more than $2 to get me to do it on air. Just saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what the number is.
Insulting, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know what the number is, but I'll know it when I see it, and I haven't seen it yet. Tiger Girl 76 says, for $20, would love for Badlands to have a book club on the website. Just a list of books the creators have read and would recommend would be a great resource for your listeners. Thanks for all you do. That is a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll start throwing something together. Angie K for $1 says the Epstein's files drop and the election fraud is being exposed is why the Guthrie story is nonstop. Plus, the leader of TMZ is all in on the Epstein files, but gets the secret ransom letter. I didn't know he got it, but that is interesting. The Alpha Warrior Show again for $10. The most important election races that matter for Republicans in order for us to maintain control are North Carolina, Maine, Georgia, and Michigan. We must win these to keep the Senate, even if fake and gay.
Well, you can't win a fake election.
Come on, bro. But I see what you're saying. Keith O'Higgins, I'm trying to catch up. Will you guys be marketing at GART Kiss the Wall Badlands belt buckles, or just go to badbeltbuckles.com?
I don't know the belt buckles reference.
I don't know. Kiss the Wall Badlands belt.
We should give attendees co-founder shirts.
Yeah, we'll have to get some on order there, but then we'd have to up the ticket prices because.
Well, yeah, I guess I forgot that we're actually already selling co-founder shirts.
We do sell co-founder shirts, yes. Maybe we can get like pins or something we can give away. Or
Yeah,
pins.
yeah. Or like a challenge coin. You have become a co-founder by attending card.
Such a good idea. I love the badlandsmedia.tv/co-founder. You can get your own co-founder merch. The Alpha Warrior Show for $2 again says, unfortunately, shared principles won't unite us. It's sad but true. Although a common enemy will unite Americans, 9/11 unfortunately proved this. Who are they going to make the common enemy and when?
Maybe I would suggest we try the other thing since it's never been tried.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. Everything's so stupid right now. HRBL Amand says, it seems like we're making such good headway on people uniting by hating how the government screws us all through fraud and taxes. We need to get back to that.
I would agree.
We did seem on the cusp of a little bit of a tax revolt there. And then yeah, everybody just got all excited. It is funny. Like Congress was, hey guys, there's so much fraud in the government. And then literally 1 week later, don't forget it's taxes week, everybody. Don't forget to get your taxes in. Super gay. Another 179 for $8 and an ellipses.
Ellipses is
the 3 dots.
Yeah.
I like that. Brother Mart 71. They need to call in the flying go-karts to find Guthrie. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it depends on where she's being held, but that could work.
Could work. Another 179. The missing L in ellipses for an additional $5. You know what? I do respect people who pay more money to fix their own spelling errors. I feel like if more people did that, things would be good. The Alpha Warrior Show for another $2. They want to delegitimize the DNI, so when her investigations lead to them, they will call it retaliation, and she's not credible. They are setting up future excuses. And we did discuss that earlier, so thank you for that. Keith O'Higgins, do you think there's a link between Bill Gates' Russian whores and Hunter Biden's Russian wares? It's clever. G. Fontes 119, all publicity is good publicity. I like it. Keith O'Higgins, the Unabomber is a patriot. Now that he's dead, he deserves a postal stamp. That would be funny to put his face on a postal stamp. G. Fontes 119 says, happy Black History Month. Whites get all of July. Latinos have May 5th. Gays get all of June except Juneteenth. And the Asians took December 7th. Pretty good. And then Will to Push Forward for $1 says, Badlands, have you noticed the extrema sociopathy with Christian haters, the Pharisee and what is it?
Sadducees.
Sadducees? How do you spell that?
I think so.
Nice. Anyway, any sort of truth criticism is anti-Semitic and they gain more control of institution, business, etc. Yeah, our government just eats that shit up. They love making anti-Semitism laws. They absolutely love it. And then the last thing we got is our outro video, which you sent over earlier. If I can find it in my links here. It's one of these. Yeah, this is it. I got it. Cool. Well, thanks, everybody. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. Alpha Warrior Show for another $2 says, Keith wears Huggies. Clever. Chris, it's been a joy, an absolute pleasure, I must say.
As always.
As always. You guys have a great rest of your night. I'll see you tomorrow on, I don't know if I'm going to do the bad gaming. We'll see. But I'm going to be on Narrative with Burning Bright tomorrow night after the Super Bowl. So make sure you all tune into that. Otherwise, We'll see you next time.
Feel like I'm getting deja vu. This is like a rock war number 2. A rock war number 2. I like to look at those oil supplies. I'd be ashamed if someone invaded you. And if someone invaded you. And I ran so far away. From them night and day. But this for USA.
A drone appears above your head. A more bomb comes falling down on you. Falling down on you. The fleet is moving nearer still. The Strait of Hormuz, it comes in view. The oil must flow through. And I ran so far away. The bomb I bombed them night and day. But destroy USA. A tiny hand hits a big red button. Atomic bombs come falling down on you. Mushroom clouds in view. Send out a tweet to let you know. World War III, 'cause Israel told me to. All for Netanyahu. And I read so far away. Oh, bomb bomb them night and day. Oh, and I read so far away. Oh, bomb them night and day. But destroy USA.